caught one on a post about Penny from Warrior Wear. Okay. And it goes, I can hear Germa's voice crack in my head right now. You'll never be a woman. And then it like shows that there says he, they, / pan. I don't think they have their gender listed, so who knows what their gender is. But yeah, it's kind of like an accidental ally moment because, I mean, if their pronouns are he and they, then yeah, they probably don't consider themselves a woman, you know? Hey, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. In this video, we're going to eat this entire jar of pickles, just all of it, within 1 minute. I'm kidding, that's not what we're going to do. In this video, as always, we're going to react to some LGBTQIA+ content, and in this particular video, we're going to jump into Accidental Ally, as you saw from the first clip. So anyways, let's jump into that video. So it's like Accidental Ally, and then, hold on, let me click on the photo. Okay, there we go. Measuring transness about how many times you've attempted to take your own life feels sick in a very specific way, and it shows the picture. You can see it, but then the person's like, well, that's part of trans culture, suiciding because you aren't a woman. This particular picture, the person's assigned female at birth, so you're correct. They're a trans man, but I mean, that would be requiring them to know the difference between, you know, trans men, trans women, non-binary, and all the other various things that fit under the trans umbrella, but they're too stupid to realize that. But on the whole so-called suicide thing, trying to say it's part of trans culture, no, it's not. It's part of your culture. And see, here we go. This is from the Williams Institute in California, right? And with their research, 98% of respondents who had experienced 4 instances of discrimination and violence the past year thought about suicide that year. So the people that are trans that have thought about suicide is because of bigotry about them being trans. So the only reason that people that are trans or anybody that fits under the trans umbrella has even attempted or actually succeeded in committing suicide is because of transphobic people like you. And it says 51% of them attempted suicide in that year. Right? And then it also says 13% of respondents who had been denied equal treatment because they are transgender reported suicide attempts in the past year. 6% of those who had not experienced such treatment reported past year attempts. 11% of respondents who had been rejected from their families reported past suicide attempts. 5% of those who had not experienced such rejection reported attempts in that past year. 30% of respondents who were physically attacked in a public place reported attempting suicide in the past year. 7% of those who were not attacked reported past year attempts. 9% of the respondents who wanted but not received gender-affirming care reported past year suicide attempt, and 5% of those who wanted and received gender-affirming care reported attempts in the past year. So with those statistics that I just showed, the reason people that are trans or fitted under the trans umbrella attempt suicide or actually commit suicide is because of transphobia, not because they are trans, but because of the way people treat them because of them being trans. So maybe get your facts straight before you open your mouth. But anyways, back to the original point. Back to the original thing is, yeah, that's an accidental ally moment because this person is assigned female at birth, so they're a trans man. So, like, even though they were being bigoted and misinterpreting facts, they technically got it correct. And this person's like, I cannot tell if this is a case or not. So they're not sure if this is an accidental ally moment, right? And it goes, for me, rainbow represents promise and love, not a nonsense reason we are not the same. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the rainbow means to the LGBTQIA+ community as well, is a promise and love. So, I mean, I don't know what you're getting at with that particular instance. Fuck, I can't speak today. It's probably because of that jar of pickles. It's just like sitting there staring at me, man. This this one's definitely an accidental ally moment, and I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant by it. But it goes, it's good that he feels comfortable enough to do this. And it goes, Trump celebrates Pride Month, and if you look at the photo, yeah, I mean, look at this picture. Tell me that this is not the most male homosexual thing you've ever seen in your entire life. I mean, those shorts. Who wears shorts? I mean, there's nothing more gay than a bunch of gay male cheerleaders cheering another man on in short shorts with the football. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant to do, but I mean, okay, thank you, sir. Correct. Trans dudes aren't women. Oh, okay. It goes, let's check in on gay Republicans. Oh, please, please don't. Like, that is the most crazy thing ever. Any marginalized group that is Republican, I don't really understand it. But hold on, we'll get to that in a second. My whole spiel on that. But anyways, the gay Republicans are like, trans dudes, you aren't a woman. Yeah, because trans dudes, or trans men, if you will, are people that were assigned female at birth but are men. Trans women are people that were assigned male at birth that are women, and non-binary people are valid. Trans men are men, trans women are women, and non-binary people are valid. All right, straight. That's not the correct straight. Straight is spelled Straight. The kind of straight that you spelled are like Bering Strait, if you will, or the homos Strait. Or I don't know how the fuck you pronounce that stupid strait. So, like, when you say straight men, right? I'm like thinking of like a bunch of guys on a straight, and so you're like, straight men are not going to date you. So like, there's like a bunch of dudes on the Bering Strait or the Hormuz Strait, and they're like, we're not going to date you because we're on this strait and we can't leave this strait. Or view you as a woman. Okay. And no one is obligated to use your pronouns. F off with your mental illness. You know, homophobia is actually a mental illness. But anyways, it goes, the person's like, Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, Jesus fucking Christ is right because they can't fucking spell. I mean, the kind of strait you're talking about is like a Bering Strait, the Homo Strait. So, like, I'm just imagining a bunch of people on the strait, and they're like, we're not going to date you. And it's like, yeah, because you're on a strait. And yeah, trans men aren't women. Accidental ally moment, I guess. And homophobia is a mental illness, and transphobia is a mental illness. And I'm going to explain why. The reason it is that's not the natural state of the human mind, or of any mind. That's not the natural state. Like, homophobia and transphobia is not a natural state. You look at the animal kingdom, right? And it doesn't exist there. Like, you know, transphobia and homophobia. And we know animals can be gay as fuck. And did you know that the clownfish is trans? See, a clownfish, if you will, right? A clownfish, when the mother clownfish dies, you got a father clownfish, a mother clownfish, and the baby clownfish, and then the mother clownfish dies. And guess you know what happens to the father clownfish? He becomes the mother clownfish. He changes gender. And there's multiple instances of this, and I'm just not bothered to look it up right now. But there are multiple instances in nature of an animal or some kind of species being one gender and flipping to the other. There's lions. That was the other one I couldn't think of. That I just remembered an example of certain lions. Female lions will grow a mane, and that's supposed to be only male lions. So see, that's another example of transgenderness, or whatever the word I'm looking for is, and I apologize if that's not the word. But that's another example of trans existing in nature. And there's thousands and thousands of examples of this in nature throughout the whole entire animal kingdom. And there's only one animal species that is transphobic and homophobic, and that's humanity. Therefore, obviously, that's not the natural state. And this has been my TED Talk. Those pickles over there, man. Okay, so this one's like, we can always tell. Comments. And so let's click on this, and it goes, Kit says trans rights. Kit is a character in Gameoverse, which is done by Glitch Productions. You should check out stuff from by Glitch Productions. We'll get to that in a second. Someone's like, okay, her. And someone goes, thanks, I use she, her. You try to be transphobic, but instead became an ally. So yeah, the person, thought they could tell, and then the girl's like, yeah, I am a girl. But yes, check out Glitch Productions. They're the one that they got, like, Gameoverse. They had Murder Drones. And my favorite right now, The Amazing Digital Circus. And the thing is like, this person being, like, bigoted and transphobic, right, towards this girl, have you even watched anything that Glitch Production produces? Because, okay, the Amazing Digital Circus is done by a trans woman. Do you think that if Glitch Productions, the people that run it, were transphobic, they would work with Gooseworks? No, they wouldn't. So I'm pretty sure that you miss the entire point of anything that they do. They are very open-minded kind of people. You know, they are not bigoted or closed-minded. That's not like what they're about. So I doubt that any of the characters that you're thinking would agree with your transphobic point of view would agree with you. They wouldn't. But yeah, this person tried to misgender this girl that was dressed up like the character from Game Oververse, and this person failed because it was a moment of accidental ally. This person's like, I bet all the trans women must feel like they've been kicked in the balls. They have no balls. I mean, some trans women do, and some trans women don't. Like, I think this person was thinking, like, trans men or something. I don't know what they were trying to think, but it was an accidental ally moment because, I mean, yes, some trans women do have balls and some trans women don't. It just depends on whether they're pre-op, post-op, or no-op. But, yeah, good job, I guess. So this was apparently posted on Facebook because it's an accidental Facebook, so it's an accidental ally moment. And it goes, listen here, liberal. We'll get to that in a second. Trans women will never be men. Yeah, correct. And trans men will never be women. Yeah, you're correct. Trans women will never be men, and trans men will never be women. Trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary people are valid. Okay? Trans women, again, are people that were... Trans women are people that were assigned male at birth but are women. Trans men are people that were assigned female at birth but are men. And the whole, oh, listen here, liberal... these kind of people that say this kind of stuff, like, oh, hey, liberal... like, only don't realize that the political spectrum is a lot more complicated and complex than that. Like, they just think the only two things that exist are conservative, liberal. And these kind of people would automatically call a liberal a communist. And as a commie, I consider that completely offensive that you compare me to a liberal. Because you're both right-wing, in my opinion. I'm the real leftist because leftists seek to dismantle and abolish capitalism. Liberals seek to reform capitalism. And you conservatives just seek to let capitalism control every person's life until it sucks everybody dry. I am not a fucking liberal. Don't ever call me a liberal, and don't compare any, and don't you ever call liberals communists. They're not even remotely communist. Hey, do y'all remember Tumblr? Like Tumblr, right? Like I had a Tumblr account. I think I still have a Tumblr account. You'll have to all tell me if I still have a Tumblr account. Just go to Tumblr and type in Kai Lacrosse, and it might pop up. I mean, you've seen my face, so you'll know which one account is mine. So tell me if there's still a Kai Lacrosse Tumblr account. I have not been on there for a long time. In fact, maybe after this video, I'll log in and try to see if I have a Tumblr account and change the photo. But at this point of recording this video, I don't remember if I have a Tumblr account. I used to. But anyways, it goes, I'm split between 6 and 8 as an MB myself. The genders, yeah, I know these. I'm aware of them. There's Monster High Doll, Mad Scientist, Clown or Jester, a mime of some sort, Creature Made of Mist that sits and listens, the Loch Ness Monster, Supervillain, Superhero, a librarian with a mysterious white streak in their hair, box of deer teeth, and robot from outer space. I think this person was trying to be bigoted, but they're like an accidental ally because that shit sounds cool as hell. And I mean, these are a lot of good choices. Like, do I you know what? I want to choose Mad Scientist and Supervillain. Can I be 2 and 6? Or do you have to choose? Like, if these are the genders, I think if people thought these were the genders, we all would be like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like just in between on whether I should be a Mad Scientist or a Supervillain. Can I be well, I guess Mad Scientist is a Supervillain, though. So, like, shouldn't 2 be under 6? Let us know in the comment section of which one of these genders you are. Okay, so it's like, well, yes, I think that's what they want. Okay, if I can click on it. Oh god, this, like, image is all distorted and stuff. It goes, I feel bad for transgender females. How does it feel existing knowing you're never going to become a male? I think that's the point, buddy. That's the freaking point. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like I think that's the entire point. Like again, I think it's just because they don't know the difference. They don't understand the lingo, the concepts, and the it's too complex and complicated for them. That's why they didn't learn anything past 5th grade biology, because then they would have to like use their brain, and there's not much there. Like they've emptied parts of their brain just to repeat Trump crap and conservative garbage, and turfy stuff. So like their brain does not have the capability to understand the nuance of the terminology in the context of the situation or whatever is the thing I'm going for. So they don't understand that trans women are people that were assigned male at birth but are women, and trans men are people that were assigned female at birth but are men, and non-binary people are neither. And so if you would explain to them that concept and then extend on it and mention genderqueer people, gender fluid, and all the other various things that fit under this umbrella, their brains would explode and there'd be ketchup everywhere. You got what I meant by ketchup. But the point is yeah, that's like, anyways, back to the original point before I started rambling on, is that is the point, dude. Like, they aren't men. Trans women are women, trans men are men, and non-binary people are valid. This person's like, I'm a trans man. Now, thanks. Some bozo. So since it's some bozo, we're going to use the bozo voice. Born with a dick, you ain't a chick. Was never disputed, dumbass. Learn some proper sentence structure and proper... Oh, God. See, I wasn't an English major or anything, but I did pretty well in English, surprisingly, believe it or not. And my stepmother was an English major, so this sentence structure and this improper everything hurts my brain. Anyways, a human born with XX cannot change to XY. That's a fact. So, real quick, I'm interrupting because I'm the one editing Kai's video for him for this video. But real quick, I wanted to say something because this person, brings up chromosomes. But did you know that chromosomes were first discovered in the 1870s with German biologist Walter Fleming? He's generally credited with the definitive discovery in 1882. So 1842, Swiss botanist, whatever the word is, Carl Wilhelm von Naegeli first observed rod-like structures in plant cell nuclei, though their significance was not understood. In 1879 to 1882, Walter Fleming used microscope dyes to clearly map out cell division, mitosis, that is, coining the term chromatone for sustainable material in the nucleus and definitively describing chromosomes. In 1888, German autonomous Heinrich Wilhelm Walderer coined the actual word chromosome for the Greek words for color and body. And sex chromosomes were not discovered until 1905 by American geneticists Nettie Stevens and Edmund Beecher Wilson. So, trying to use chromosomes for your transphobic talk doesn't work because trans people existed before anyone discovered chromosomes. And so that's not how people would say, oh, I'm going to go by your chromosomes of what, gender or sex you are. Because before 1905, nobody knew what that was. So you can't use chromosomes in order to fit what your transphobic view of the world, because they weren't discovered until what I just said. Anyways, back to Kai.
Not an Apache attack helicopter just because I say that's common sense.
And the person goes, thanks for being an ally, because the person was a trans man. So it's like, yeah. And they go with the same tired old Apache attack helicopter joke. It's like, yeah, that's an inanimate object. You can't identify as an inanimate object, jackass. And chromosomes are a lot more complex and complicated than that. Like, there's different variations. And these people, when they say this kind of crap, they're ignoring the existence of intersex people. Like, intersex people are only good enough for their arguments, like, when it benefits them. Any other time, these bigots ignore the existence of intersex people. So I'm going to break it down for you. Okay? I'm going to break it down for you. Sex and gender are not the same thing. Gender is a social construct. Sex is a biological characteristic fact. And there are 3 sexes. There's male, female, and intersex. Gender, there's multiple genders, and that's a completely other different thing because gender is a social construct. Okay, right? So gender, social construct, sex is biological characteristics. which is male, female, and intersex. So there's technically 3. Now, to get into that fact is yes, people can change their sex. Like a lot of trans people, will never like say, "Oh, I can change my sex. I only affirm my gender." But I would say that that's not completely accurate per se, because that's the whole point of the gender affirming care, is to literally change the sex to match the gender, right? And gender affirming surgery literally does and the hormones literally does change the person's sex, if you will, to match their gender, so they can. But that's like a long, complicated subject and whatnot. But this person was being a bigoted jackass, right? That's just all there is to it, and they failed because they accidentally affirmed this person's agenda. So this is an accidental moment on Instagram.
No, you're fat and a woman, and you look trans, so I feel like most Americans wouldn't even value your life, much less your opinion.
Wow! Real quick before we read the other person's comment, just wow. Nobody values your opinion, incel. Go back to your basement and have your mom make you fucking Hot Pockets while you shit in a fucking bucket. You... Duh! See, back in the day when people used to tell me about World of Warcraft, before I realized that World of Warcraft is actually not played by the various people that I thought it was played by, I used to think it was those kind of people, like, the kind of guy that made this comment on this thing, that it was just people eating Hot Pockets and still living at home with their mom crapping in a bucket while playing a World of Warcraft. Then I realized that, no, it's not just incels that play World of Warcraft, and that the community is very varied, but it's people like this kind of jackass that does play it, that people get that, idea of that's how, they are, when it's not. You get what I'm saying? Someone goes, I ain't even going to tell you what my gender actually is, but thank you for this comment. Yeah. I mean, just, dude, you are a horrible person. Not the person that they're commenting towards, the person that made the comment. Like, fat shaming, for one. Like, shame on you. And then it's like, and a woman. Okay, a woman's an insult now? That just... this person probably always, uses the word female. Trust me. And then they're like, you look trans. Like, that's an insult only to people like you. Like, only people like this guy that made the comment consider telling someone they look trans as an insult. And it goes, I feel most Americans wouldn't even value your life. Well, I value this person's life. I think every human life is valued and important, even including your bigoted fucking life. That's the whole point of why I'm a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, and that's why even before that I considered myself a communist, because I think that even the bigoted people that I don't care much for have the right to basic necessities, and that even they should live under a place where the worker is put first and not a billionaire. Or much less your opinion. Now, on that, I don't value this bigot's opinion at all. And I think most of the people that agree with these kind of videos and watch my LGBTQIA plus content here and Tonya's content would agree that we don't value this person's opinion. We might value their life, but their opinion not so much. Dude, grow the fuck up, move out of your parents, and quit treating people like shit. Accidental ally moment because they refer to them as women. Okay, so it's only an accidental ally moment because they refer to trans women as women. And it shows this dumbass picture, the picture with the guy that looks angry and he's got a heart on, right? And apparently this person drew boobs on him, goes, liberal women when they see Donald Trump. So you're saying liberal trans women are women. I mean, bravo to that, but no, nobody gets it up when they see Donald Trump. We vomit, honey. Like, I'm not a liberal, as I've already said, but I'm pretty sure that's the one thing me and liberals would agree with, that we both vomit when we see Donald Trump, because that's the one thing we have in common, a commie like me and a liberal, is that, liberals and communists such as myself, we have one thing in common, and that is that we both want to vomit when we see Donald Trump. There's nobody that's like, oh yeah, no one's attracted by that big... whatever he is. He's disgusting. He's a disgusting human being. Nobody is turned on by a 34-time felon, rapist, pedophile president. Nobody. Except you guys. This person goes, I am a trans man. So it's an accidental red eye. Red eye. I don't know why I said red eye. It's an accidental eye that it's red. I don't know. It's an accidental ally moment on Reddit. And Pale Horse. So we're going to read Pale Horse in the stupid annoying voice.
You look like a man. Never gonna change. Sorry, bro.
I hate when people do bro so much. Like, hey, bro. This is a guy that comes into the convenience store I work at, right? And all the time he's just like, bro. Hey, bro, I want those Swishers right there, the Tropical Fusion, bro. People that use the word bro all the time, your guys are annoying. Stop. And someone's like, why are you apologizing?
Because I'm telling you something you don't want to hear.
That's what they want to hear, though. The person that you're saying is never, that they look like a man and is never gonna, and that's not gonna change. You're talking to a trans man, so you're affirming their gender. Trans men are people who were assigned female at birth but are men. So you saying that this trans man looks like a man, that's what the trans man wanted to hear, you idiot. But seriously, dude. Stop with the bro. It's annoying. It's as annoying as people that say dude all the time. I mean, I try not to say dude all the time. I only occasionally say it. Just unfortunately in these videos, I say it a lot more than I usually actually say it out in the real world. So sorry about that. I'm going to try to cut back on the dude because I just realized I say that a lot of times. And that's probably just as annoying as saying bro. I mean, maybe I should eat these, jar pickles. I'm going to at one point later on in life. For reasons. Anyways, I don't know what I'm thinking about the pickle. I don't know why. Oh, I'm sorry. So anyways, tell me what you thought of any of this content in this video in the comment section down below. Remember though, hate has no place here, or home here, so any comments that are homophobic or transphobic or racist or any bigotry of any kind will not be tolerated here. Your comment will be deleted and you will be blocked, like from commenting or seeing any of this content on this page, like period. And you won't get to see me eat this entire jar of pickles. Anyways, comment in the comment section down below. Like I said, comment down below there. Check the description bar for all the links and stuff. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of future videos, and also to join the Fox Den. And also to see me eat this entire jar of pickles in a minute. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Kai. And thank you for watching, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'll see you in the next video.
For the workers, for the nurses on their feet, for the teachers buying pencils, for the families in the heat. Power to the people isn't just a slogan on a wall. When we organize together, we don't rise up, we all rise up. Healthcare on the table, but your credit's running thin. Pre-existing condition means the system won't let you in. Meanwhile, lobbies line the hallways, writing up the bill. Profit over patient, and they call that goodwill. Housing is a human right, not a hedge fund asset play. But investors buying blocks, pricing working folks away. 40% of rent, just so somebody's performing.